All right guys, so this is the Ape Case ACPRO1500W, and I got it on Amazon about a year ago for $100 or so. Probably some cheaper options out there, and then you'll find some more expensive. So I thought this was sort of well priced, right in the middle for what it offers. And there's a lot of great features that I really like about this backpack. Before I show you exactly how I get all of that into here, I just want to give you guys a quick rundown, a quick review of everything I like and some things I don't necessarily care for. There's a couple things that drove me to this exact model. Namely, I was looking for something that was really compact, something that would protect my drone, obviously, and also something that would be relatively comfortable to wear, not just through the airport and while I'm traveling, but during hikes, during bike rides, during long walks, something that I could actually, physically have on my body that wasn't gonna wear me down and, ultimately add a lot of stress to my back. This backpack measures 18 inches from top to bottom. It's about a foot wide, so 12 inches wide, and the actual depth here is 9.5 inches. My wife and I, we were heading on a trip to Key West, and I knew we weren't gonna be checking any bags, but I knew I wanted to also bring my drone with me. So I'm like, all right, what's the easiest way where I can still have a carry-on, still have a drone? And ultimately, this was what I came up with. Side profile, it's pretty slim. Doesn't really protrude too far off the back. And what I liked most about this backpack was it really didn't feel like one of those traditional drone backpacks where it's quite obvious there's a drone on your back. I like this, it's a little bit more discreet, I like being able to have the drone in the backpack and not really call any attention to, hey, come rob me, there's a drone and a bunch of camera equipment. Obviously all of you watching this video now know. It's very comfortable. The straps are the one area where I wish there was a little bit more padding, but overall they're not bad. So they have about a 1/4 inch, I would say, of cushion in the straps themselves. And then on the back, the entire back is pretty cushiony. I would say maybe like a 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch of cushion. So it definitely feels great against your back. I have gone on like a 2 or maybe 3 mile walk with it. So it was like maybe 20-30 minutes long. And at no point did I ever just feel like, oh my God, get this thing off of me. It definitely is very comfortable to wear. The support on your back feels great. There's nothing ever like poking you. The straps, they don't dig in and like leave marks. So overall, even though there's not a lot of cushion in these straps, they are comfortable. And then another thing that I think really helps add to comfort is the fact that there are some straps, one up here for the chest strap, and then down here at the bottom, one that can go around your waist. And overall, that just tremendously, I think, helps kind of just secure it on your back so things aren't shifting around as much while you're walking, but it definitely just kind of balances the weight and takes a lot of the stress off your shoulders. So overall comfort, I was really glad it comes with a chest strap and a waist strap. So the exterior of this backpack is made of a pretty durable material. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it's held up really great over the year that I've had it. And not that I've really thrown it around too much or had it outside a bunch, but from where I have had it, it really barely shows any signs of age. All the zippers work really great. All these drawstrings are pretty hefty material, and overall, the build quality is decent. It doesn't feel like a very cheapy, like thin backpack. Everything on it, I think, is built pretty nicely. So obviously, as you guys know, drones aren't cheap, camera equipment's not cheap. We want to protect our investment. You're obviously not going to get the kind of protection that you would get from one of those hard shell cases where, there's perfect like custom foam inside, the drone fits right in, nothing's gonna slide around or move. You could essentially chuck this thing down a staircase or, throw a 100-pound weight on top and it's gonna stay fine. Obviously, you're not gonna get that. This is a soft pack. The cushioning inside and the way it holds everything together is generally pretty good, but you do have to kind of know, what your expectations are and what you guys need out of protection. This is usually something I'm carrying around, so I'm able to make sure nothing gets bumped into it or nothing gets thrown on top. I will say, if you need protection where you do see your drone getting thrown around, I wouldn't rely on being okay with just this pack. I think it's a little too soft and you could potentially have some things get crushed or cracked. But overall, for my purposes, this thing just gives me all the protection I could need. And one of my favorite features about this is down here at the very bottom, there is actually a little pocket, a little Velcro pocket, and in there is a weatherproof bag. And in case you ever find yourself outside hiking and it just starts downpouring, you can just go ahead, throw right on top. and it will basically keep everything safe and dry. So I really like that about it, and it just kind of doesn't take up any interior space. It's its own little pocket down here at the bottom. So overall, protection, I'll say maybe a 6 out of 10. Again, this isn't gonna be the protection that a hard case would offer, but you know, overall with just general transporting and general storage, as long as you're not throwing this thing around too much, the padding inside will keep your drone safe, keep your camera equipment safe. So I haven't had any issues with it. Nothing that I own has gotten broken, and I usually pack this thing up pretty good. If we take a look at this backpack, I'll show you the outside first before I kind of talk about how I pack all my stuff up. Basically, on the left and right top, you'll have 2 pockets. So one on the left, one on the right, and perfect for memory cards or an external battery, anything that's kind of relatively slim. So you'll have that on both sides. And then right down here on the front, you do have a left and right front pocket. Also relatively slim, can't really put anything too bulky in here, but maybe your passport or wallet or something that you just need to access quickly while you're in the airport or just wherever. Right here on the very back of this backpack, you have an awesome storage area for your laptop, your tablet, anything that's relatively flatter. And basically this pocket travels, you know, the full height of this backpack and also the full width. It's just not very deep. So, you know, something that's slim that can slide right in, it's perfect for that. And that's just gonna be right back here. Up here is going to have a nice, relatively deep storage compartment right in here, as well as a nice zipper compartment up here for a bunch of stuff, which I still have stuff in. And then there's also another little Velcro pocket right in this top compartment as well. So kind of a nice deep top pocket for a bunch of stuff. Getting back into the main pocket where the actual drone will be housed, I will show you guys that right now. So just unzip her right here. And that will open up the main bottom compartment. So this is where the drone is going to sit, and it actually goes face down. It definitely works for all the DJI Phantom series drones. It is a relatively tight fit, and one thing I'm not absolutely in love with is there's not a ton of actual padding on this flap here and sort of around the perimeter, but it is enough, and I feel like it's adequate. So in this bottom compartment, there are 2 pockets on each side with zippers. There are 2 additional pockets for some additional batteries, and that's pretty much it. At the very bottom, there is a strap down here to go ahead and strap the drone once it is in there. So what I'll do is just start kind of piling everything in, kind of talk to you guys as I'm doing so. So what I usually do is I take 1 battery and I plug it into the back of the drone first. I take my 2 spare batteries and put them in the pockets down at the very bottom. Right like that, if you guys can see that right at the bottom. And before I put the drone in, I actually do put the drone charger down here. So I grab that. Move the straps out of the way, and I go ahead and get ready to place the drone in. I'll definitely mention, make sure you have some kind of gimbal lock attached. It just keeps this gimbal and housing a little bit more secure. And then I also went ahead and purchased these kind of rubber fittings that go over the motors. So once I put it in the bag, the top of the motors kind of hit each corner. And again, there is plenty of cushion and protection. I just kind of did that as an extra precaution for myself. Just, you know, keep dust out of there, just not mess up the threads in any way. So kind of also recommend doing that if you're a little OCD like I am with trying to keep everything as new as you can. So it just basically slides right in. I do go ahead, I attach the little strap that was down there. And then ultimately, for me to be able to fit a bulk of this additional stuff here in the backpack, what I do like to do is, a lot of people, I think, will go ahead and put this controller in the top section. I think that's what it was designed for, and I think that it gives you probably the best storage option for it. But in order for me to maximize the space that's in this upper pocket, I figured out a way that there is a way to fit this controller in the bottom section down here with the drone. It's not a very great fit, but it does work okay. Last but not least, I put the drone propellers actually just right down on top of the batteries in this bottom section, and they just kind of sit right there. So at the end of the day here, basically 100% of the drone supplies are more or less here in the bottom section of the backpack. All right, so now that we have the bottom all packed up, we are gonna go up to the top. I will show you guys how I usually pack up the very back pocket with my laptop and iPad and everything. So first I actually grab my selfie stick, which is right here. So I first put that right down at to the very bottom of the pocket. Next up, I actually grab the computer, slide that in, and the iPad, grab that and slide that in. And also in this back pocket, I throw this awesome GoPro accessory in there. Just kind of has this Jaws clamp that you can clamp on pretty much anything, and then mount the GoPro up here. And it's just really a good all-around mount that has really helped me get some cool angles. So highly recommend that. Sneaks its way in there. There we go. Go ahead and zip that up. All right, and now we have just kind of a lot of this other miscellaneous stuff, which I put up top here in the very top compartment. Everything packed up, which is awesome. As you guys saw, there was a bunch of stuff out on the table. You would never really know it all fits in here. It might make it slightly taller, but I had this exact setup and it does still fit right under the seat with no problem. I don't think it's any bit wider, and obviously it didn't grow in height. So overall, this is the fully packed final product. You know, think it just works great for keeping all of my stuff organized, and definitely a great way to be able to travel, have all of my stuff that I need for filming all in one place and have it be protected. And definitely a nice kind of all around compact size. It's fully loaded, has everything I need in it. Again, I can get that shoulder strap going. The waist strap definitely keeps everything secure on my back as I'm moving around and hiking or walking. It's not like flapping on my back. It's just, yeah, a really, really good all-around backpack. I'm really glad I decided to buy this exact model. And if you guys have any questions at all about this backpack in general, or the accessories and stuff I just loaded in this backpack, feel free to leave a comment for me. If you enjoyed this review video, throw me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing. I don't usually do review videos. I'm usually just kind of doing little tidbit travel videos of me and my wife as we go on some different Caribbean locations. So feel free, if you guys are interested in that, definitely subscribe and watch the videos. I will put a link to this exact backpack down in the description below. So if you guys are curious, go ahead and check it out. That is it. That's a wrap, guys. Let me know if you guys have any other questions. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and cheers.